So I took apart Slambo and clipped off the pieces. Here was the extra sprue after all the pieces were cut off. It's a lot of extra resin if you ask me, but throw that away. Anyways, be careful when you cut the pieces off. Sorry, try to get that in focus. So as you can see here, there's going to have to be a lot of filing and such to be done. Hopefully not a lot of filling though. And also be careful when you cut the torso, because I almost accidentally cut the front piece off. And I'm in the process of repairing that. So, but yep, more to come soon. Okay, continuing on with working on Slambo. Did some work on some of the mold lines. There really is quite a bit of them. One thing to know is that when working on materials such as resin, since resin is softer, you don't always want to use the blade part of an X-Acto. Using the back part is usually best practice when you can. So for example, let me make sure I got this in focus in the camera. Got here over in the head, see if I can catch it up to you. There we go. So basically using the back to take out these imperfections, you just do it gently. And just gently scratch it over it. Or like, you know, scraping over it, lightly scraping. And that does just... Oh, here's Mr. Slambo. All assembled together. The biggest pain in the ass that there was with assembling him, with the prep process actually, not the assembly part. The assemble part was just pretty much plug and play, so that part was very easy. These hash marks that you see here, that's just for gluing, so when I glued it, it would actually adhere better, and also for basing material that I'll be putting on there, which I'll show you about later on. But anyway, you still see little lines here from where the mold line was, because it was kind of hard to get in there and file and sand. But what I plan to do is I'm going to go over the area with Vallejo gloss varnish. It's actually a really cool trick to do when it comes to filling in little tiny holes or covering over certain, you know, minor mold lines. It really works and it smooths out the surface. Okay, so we're up to the last step before I get ready to prime. I was saying that I had a little bit of minor trouble spots that I was going to go over with the gloss varnish. This is the Vallejo gloss varnish here. And the little trouble spots that I wanted to focus on, and I don't know how well you can see them, but you can see in the back there's a little bit of pitting, which is something that's very, very common with resin models, but it's not a big deal. Especially if it's minor like that, it's easy to fix. So I have one of my brushes, and I'm going in with, that's gloss varnish right in there. And I'm going to paint over right where there's the pitting. And I'm going to let it dry before I prime it. Now, of course, it might take more than one layer in order to do it, which is totally fine. And it will shrink a little bit when it dries. So do keep that in mind. At least that's been my experience. And that's just basically what you do. You just paint over it, let it dry, see how it looks, if it looks flush. And if not, you just go over it one more time again. And then when you prime, don't worry, it won't like, you know, it won't look weird or anything like that. But it's just got a little bit of, as you can see what it says on the thing there, acrylic resin. So that's one of the things that helps fill it. But just minor spots. You can't really do much with it with major spots and stuff. They're also good to put on those Hero Forge miniatures if you have those plastic ones to help even out the surface. And Oliver's saying hi to you again. So that's my story, and I am sticking to it. Like, comment, and subscribe. Love you guys. Have a good day.